Hello everyone and welcome back to the Code Syndicate. Today we will discuss about generic data types in Rust. Generic data type allows us to write code that is flexible and can be reused with different types of data. For example, let's say we have a program which displays a word and user calculates number of vowels and enters the value either as a string or as a numeric value. Now, as a programmer, we need to process both type of data and print that value in the console. Let's see this in code. Here, we define a function display value which takes a parameter number of vowel which is of type i32 and prints this parameter in the console. And in this main function, we declare this vowel number variable and assign number 2 to this variable. And finally, we call this display value function with this vowel number as a argument. Here, I am considering this vowel number as user input. So in this case, a user has entered this number 2 in the input box, and now we need to process this data and display this 2 in the console. And we did the same. We call this display value function with this vowel number data as argument and printed it in the console. Let's run the code. Perfect. Till now, this code works perfectly. But when a user inputs a string instead of this number, this function display value will not work, as we are accepting a i32 type of data, but this vowel number will be a string. Let's change this vowel number to a string type and run the code. As expected, we got the error. Now, let's change this display value function to a generic type of function with a generic type of data so that this function display value can work with multiple type of data. Here, this t means that this function can have any value of any data type. Here we got another error. T doesn't implement standard format display method. This is due to the confusion of Rust compiler that it cannot determine the actual type of data this T is referring to. So it cannot print this number of value in the console. We need to tell Rust compiler to apply format method for this T type, and we do this by now this number of vowel of this type T can be printed on the screen. And one more thing, we need to add this colon question mark. Now we have successfully made this display value function a generic type of function. Let's run the code to see if it is working or not. Perfect. Let's change this vowel number to a numeric type to verify it is working perfectly or not. Run the code. Perfect.